I want you to change your surroundings. I want tactics boards. I want iPads. I want flipping. I want the things you put up for the free kicks. Them electric. I want to see that in the back. I want cones.
It's embarrassing, bro, because let's be honest, that for me is the final straw for multitude of reasons. And one of the reasons being is that in a project, you need a long-term manager. You can't consistently bring in young players on who are developing, who are going to be inconsistent, whilst the expectations are high, and then keep chopping and changing managers. That is the definition of instability. And young players need stability more than anyone else because they need to understand systems. They need to understand the tactics. They need to develop. They need to be coached. If this was a team of Chelsea of old, where we had legends throughout the lineup and we had experienced, Drogba's and Lampard, you can rotate managers if you want. You can sack and hire and fire because it's a very clear win now or get out. Chelsea's remit is very unclear because they want to develop. They want to have the best young talent in the world, which I think in certain positions, especially going forward, they're failing in that metric very clearly because they're not bringing in the best talents, the best young talents in certain areas. And then they're changing manager. So these young players are not going to consistently develop. They're not going to consistently improve. And the one thing I keep saying with young development is you need top players to teach young players. You need top players in training to bring the levels up. You need leadership. You need, you do need elements of experience, even though I don't think the team in terms of starting 11 is that young. You look at the starting 11, there's quite a few 26, 27-year-olds. And then every time the manager goes to the bench, he's bringing on 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and they have to impact the game. Villa is a clear example where 1-1, we need to get a winner, and his 3 substitutions have got to be Gittins, Esteval, and Delap. How can you make those 3 substitutions in the Premier League, the toughest league in the world, and guarantee that that's going to change the game? And two out of 3 drop stinkers, sorry, João Pedro came on, but usually it would be Delap. And then they're briefing. The manager was talking to Man City. These people are so thick. Their awareness is so lacking that they briefed that the manager was talking to Man City a few months ago, and then they briefed that they were interested in De Zerbi or talking to De Zerbi in the summer. So which one is it? So the manager can't, and I personally don't believe it because the manager came out in a presser and said, "I'm not leaving. I've got a contract till 2029." He doesn't know that Pep's leaving. It doesn't make any sense for a manager that's come from Leicester to Chelsea, who's trying to steer this project, is now going to be vying for a Man City job that's not vacant. You just don't do that. It doesn't make sense. You don't set yourself up for failure. You're not a guaranteed, appointment. But these guys are literally saying that they were talking to De Zerbi over the summer whilst our manager was winning the Club World Cup, bringing in Chelsea's 2nd trophy under this ownership. This is not a football club at this point. This is a trading, scheme where we're just flipping managers on purpose. I feel because every time you flip a manager, or every time you fall out with a manager, every time you have to sack or part ways with a manager. Notice the word sack isn't used in the headlines; it's part ways, but it should be sack.
Mutual consent.
Mutual consent, because he didn't follow orders. He stepped out of line. He spoke too much. He wanted to kick on. And they said, nah, we're not doing that. You listen to us. We're in charge. So it is a sacking. He didn't leave. And every time that happens, you get a new manager. They're going to be young, inexperienced, and a rookie, as I will be when I enter the job, right? I won't be qualified. I'll be there. And then what happens? Everybody's expectations have to go straight down to the floor again. We have to start all over again. It's going to take time for the system. It's going to take time for the manager to learn the Premier League. It's going to take time for him to understand the different oppositions. And then everything starts all over again. And it just buys more time for the actual issue, which is the owners and the directors to continue to keep wasting, squandering money and to keep trading players, 7-8 players in and out the door every summer, whilst moving managers in and out the door. And the expectation, which we should be challenging for the league, winning majors, just keeps getting pushed further and down the road. And they just keep to get, doing what they do. So, yeah, I mean, it's long, Robbie. I'm not going to lie. This is like, there's people that were obviously like fuming with the ownership before. I was mainly targeting the directors because I feel like out of the 1.678 billion that we've spent, I think they've misspent it. Even if the restriction is under 25s, even if the restriction is the wage, why don't you land a Cherky? Why don't you land an Ekatike? Why don't you land these talents before they end up going to other clubs. But you land Garnacho, you land Liam Delap. You're actually not even maximizing within the restrictions that you have. Is that on purpose? Well, because the ownership haven't sacked the directors, I have to now assume it is on purpose. And the fact that they've sacked this manager and the directors are still in a job, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, bro.
Oh, well then.
It's a lot.
Well said.
There's a lot going on.
What is also a disgrace is a fast track to the top, because you've gone from podcaster, YouTuber to Premier League manager. I want to commend DR. Yeah, I want to commend DR for kicking off 2026 with a live actual Premier League manager on this show. That doesn't normally happen.
We're doing a press conference.
Wait a minute. Chelsea need to speak to me about the release clause. Yeah. Matisse has got a release clause. You know what I mean? So they need to speak to Big Six, and they need to speak to us, right, about the release clause. We want some.
You know when you said you was branching out. When you launched branching out, I didn't think this is what you meant.
Yeah, I mean, listen, never let them know your next move. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So,
but to be fair, everything you've said is completely accurate. Me and Rob were just talking about it before you two joined the stream. Like, how many times have we sat there this season and said that Chelsea literally flip players, like as if they're flipping houses? It's like selling sunset. It's just ridiculous. And then you bring into it the whole Maresca thing in the last 2 weeks has actually blown my mind. I feel like I went on holiday and everything was fine, and I came back and I was like, oh, they sacked him. What? Like, it's just bizarre. But that is just so telling of Chelsea Football Club. When you've got people that are in charge that are business people and don't understand how a football club runs and works and the footballing side of it, this is when you get chaos. Like, we've seen it at Tottenham, I've seen it with Manchester United, we've seen it before even at Arsenal as well. And like with Chelsea, where you've always had this like win now, you buy the best, you have the best managers, you see your return on investment straight away. This is something totally different, and that was always going to be the way over the last 4 or 5 years. It was going to be adapting since Roman left, but this is just a shit show. There's just actually no other word to say it. I like, not that I feel bad for Chelsea fans, because I would never, but like, I feel bad for you in particular.
We're limited.
I don't feel bad for him in particular. No, stop. No,
I feel bad for Matisse as my friend.
No. We're not doing this. This is 2026. What we're doing is not letting him off the hook, and he needs to come here and be held accountable. He's done his speech. He's done his football analysis, which was absolutely spot on. I expect nothing different from Matisse. Nothing different. Perfect breakdown and depiction of what's going on at Chelsea Football Club. He's been consistent in his message, okay? He's been consistent in saying them owners need to go before, even with Poche's been saying that. Matisse, I commend you. I commend you for
now you're going to cook. So now you're going to cook.
He's going to cook.
However, you, and this is what I'm saying, Abby and Robbie and all this stuff, you let this guy come on this podcast week after week, game week after game week, not stating what he's really on, trying to half come with a big boy chest, saying I'm better than the likes of Man United and this, that team, and I'm not in the thing for Europe, wearing up loads of different costumes. For his team in 2026, the first thing that happens to him is that they sack the manager, get a manager that looks like him, that is as qualified as him, and you think that we're going to let him come here and say all of the good things about why Chelsea are a mess and we just move on? Absolutely not.
No, but it's day one. It's day one. He hasn't even appointed yet. Let us land.
Flex.
It's day one, so we move on the offense from minute one. Day one, minute one. No
4th of January, Flex. 4th of January.
You're 2 days early, mate. You're 2 days early. And you know what's probably going to happen? Ironically, on the 4th of January, I bet the official announcement of Rafinha is probably then. How poetic would that be? So you, Matisse, telling me we're not like you, we're not this, we're not that, from Mud Brothers to this, trying to make yourself something separate. No, know who you are and what you stand for, bro. And now look at you. Now you're going to have a year of 2026 when you've had to change profession. You've had to change everything, bro. You're going to have to change that studio. That shouldn't look like a fans thing with Frankie Lampard on the thing. That needs to look like an office. I want to see tactics boards on there. I don't want to see no players. Liam Rafinha didn't play with Lampard, bro. He ain't met him before. I don't want to see none of that. I want you to change your surroundings. I want tactics boards. I want iPads. I want the things you put up for the free kicks. them electric. I want to see that in the back. I want
And
cones.
He's
want
only just
boot wraps.
redecorated. He's
Well,
only
you
just
better
redone
decorate.
it.
You better decorate again.
I'm not officially
Hey.
appointed, but I do
Well,
have
yeah.
I do have green screens. I can change
Good.
things around. Don't worry.
Are
like,
you
good.
going to be a suit manager or like tracksuit?
I haven't decided yet personally. I have
Okay.
to, I have to take
I
I'm
think
looking at the
suit-
prices of certain garms, you know what I'm saying?
Suit goes hard. I think when
Yeah.
you crash out on stream in a suit, that will
And
go
Robbie,
hard.
run me the red bottom shoes as well. Actually, I need them.
Hey, listen, right? Listen, we got some super chats here. Clara Bitsy, who we know, she's a massive Chelsea fan, says, wow, DR Sports or Robbie finally got an exclusive, revealing the first look of our new manager before any journalists. And also, Robbie, it's January, is Transfer Daily back. It is back.
Of course it's bad.
Surprise Enzo has gone. This one's coming from Stoopy Yellow Shirt, especially after the Arsenal 1-1 great result. How are there? Okay, Press One says, how are there winners when Wolves didn't get a win in the game? Well, you've got to win to go through to the next round, and Manchester United drew that game, didn't they? So that's why. This one here from Boumé says, 2 billion spent in 6 years and not one title challenge in sight. Long may it continue. And also this one, it says, as a Gooner, I must say it's very poor from the Chelsea board to let Maresca go. Portrays the Premier League in a bad light. Is the studio receiving a facelift? No, we're just after New Year's, we're all at home. Well, I'm actually in the studio, but the rest of the guys are at home. We'll be back in the studio as normal on Monday. Matisse, you should have lent that all that military fatigue to Maresca. By the sounds of what was going on behind the scenes, man, it looked like he was the one fighting all the battles and fighting all the wars there.
Yeah.
But what next now, right? Is it definitely going to be Leroy Rossignol? And also, let's not forget, you go away to Manchester City at the weekend. That's the big game of the weekend. 4:30 kickoff UK time. Away at the Etihad. No Caicedo, who stupidly got himself a 5th yellow card.
He's out again, is he?
Night.
He's out again.
He's out again.
He's out again.
Right,
Honestly, you couldn't write this shit.
I mean, what now, Matisse? So all jokes aside, right? A few weeks ago, you were beating Barcelona convincingly. You got that draw against Arsenal. Lots of credit went to the Chelsea team because you were down to 10 men. And then it's just literally completely fallen apart in front of everybody's eyes. Now you got to go to the Etihad. I mean, any chance of a win there?
No, we're guaranteed 100% to lose this game, convincingly. Actually, we've got someone in the position currently from the under-21s. I don't know who he is. I believe his name is Callum.
I was going to say, you don't even know who he is. I was going to say, who's got...
I don't know who Callum is. Callum's press conference is at 1 p.m.
Callum.
I look forward to getting to know. I look forward to getting to know Callum. And first of all, it's Liam, not Leroy. Robbie. We need to get the names right now that I'm moving up. You know what I mean?
I prefer Leroy.
We're gonna lose. We're going to lose. And they're gonna spam to lose in the chat. You know what I mean? That's where we're going. Vavavoom, France and whatnot. We're gonna lose the game.
You might not.
No, we're going to lose the game.
This happens.
No, we are going to lose this game. Like
no Cucurella either, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, Cucurella is not fit. I'm pretty sure Hato isn't fit, so Gusto will go left back. There's no Caicedo, and this Callum brother is not equipped to go up against Pep after dropping points against Sunderland and has to beat Chelsea to keep up with Arsenal. There is, we don't do well at the Etihad anyway. We don't do well in big away games. Home, big games, Liverpool's, Arsenal's, Barcelona's. Okay, cool. You'll see some fight. Going away to the Etihad in this mess with this kerfuffle that's going on in the back end, we're done. We are 100. It's a case of how many, not if we lose this game. So we can just move on to the next one. Honestly,
Mark, can I just ask you about those comments that were obviously made about Maresca, like from your board? I mean, what was it that he lacks mental fortitude and emotional maturity? I mean, that is a crazy statement to put out. It's like some kind of like breakup that you put, like if you were breaking up with someone, like you lack emotional maturity and mental capacity. Like what on earth is that about? What does that even mean?
Every time someone leaves or someone is sacked, they have to put out bad press on their name. So they just start waffling, to be honest. They start saying that Maresca wanted to write a book after winning the Club World Cup. He was more interested in his own profile than the wider picture. They start waffling about being interested in other clubs and Juventus and City, even though, you know, they had interest in De Zerbi apparently. So they just start waffling. And to be honest, it's literally just there to manipulate, discredit, manipulate the fan base, try and get as many people to turn against him and justify the sacking and justify the take attention away from them, because there's no admittance or accountability on their recruitment, on their money spent, on how long they've been in charge. You could say Maresca had a bad month. These directors and this ownership have had a bad 2-3 years since they've come in, right? And the only good period they've had is when this manager's been in charge, which is last year, which is when they got the 2 trophies. One of them, which is, you know, just, it's the Conference League, it barely counts. So yeah, they basically just bad PR, spin the block, make sure that everybody looks poor apart from them. And the thing is that every time you go and do this publicly, you tarnish your name, you tarnish the club's name, and you tarnish any chance of any serious manager or any serious individual wanting to work with you in the future, because everybody can see the pattern. As soon as you're appointed, you're the best thing since sliced bread. We've done our due diligence. We love the way you work. Everything is, you've worked with Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart before, the directors. You know us so well. Kumbaya. And then as soon as you leave, worst thing in the world, shocking manager, no loyalty, did this and that and the third. It all starts coming out. All the journalists start putting it out there. So you start as a yes man, you start as the best thing, and you leave as someone a little bit more ambitious than when you came in, and fed up with the micromanaging, walking into dressing rooms and taking orders on team selections and rotations because players need to all play, because promises to agents and all this rubbish, and getting caught up in PSR and UEFA restrictions. The crux of this is Chelsea at this current moment are a stepping stone club for managers, because no manager is going to, no top manager is ever going to work with these directors. They've already been rejected by Enrique, rejected by Nagelsmann in the past. They only recruit rookies now, because rookies will take this job as an opportunity to elevate their status. They'll put up and shut up with the orders they're given until they can't do it any longer. And it will always fall. It will always go down this route, by the way, because the fan base has expectation. The fan base wants to win. And if the manager doesn't deliver that, after all of the teething problems, all of the kind of learning curves, you'll get to that point and you'll buck heads with the fans, because we're fed up with the mediocrity and we're not winning big trophies. We're not challenging for Champions League. The ceiling of the recruitment and the infrastructure behind all of this will cap us from not being able to win. And then the fans and the manager will clash. And then the manager goes, he gets angry, and then a new one comes in, and then these guys just continue. And then do it all over again. So that's why I'm off the hamster wheel now. I don't care about the manager. I don't care who's coming in. I don't care about who's sitting in the dugout. It's past that now. It's past that. Well, I also have to care because it's my name on the line now. I'm going to get cussed. Yeah, exactly. Every time we lose, I'm going to get cussed. Every time we lose.
You better care with this one, bro, because I'm finished. Like I said, this could be, this, to be fair, to give devil's advocate, because you are our friend, this actually could be one of the best things that happened to you. Could be. This could be the best year or the worst year. No, because I'll tell you one thing. No. Why?
Because what's going to happen is everything I just described. I'm going to get my chances to learn on the job. They're going to understand that I'm a rookie and I'm doing my coaching badges in the role. So I'm going to make my decisions. I'm going to make my team selections. We're going to win. We're going to lose. We're going to draw. And then we're going to have a nice time. I might even snag a little cup. All I'm trying to get is a cup out of this, by the way. If I can get myself a cup, I'm gone. But as soon as I want to win the Prem and the Champs, and I want big signings, I want big players to come through this door. They're going to tell me no. They're going to tell me no, and then I'm going to fall out, and I'm not going to be able to say anything because I got NDAs all over the